So here we go again. Another day, another courtroom, another headline trying to twist Prince Harry's pursuit of justice into some kind of sideshow. But let's get something straight right off the top. This is not about publicity. This is not about vendettas. This is about accountability. And once again, the British media and their apologists are scrambling to cover their tracks while throwing Prince Harry under the bus. Now let's break this down because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in these legal tactics. In a recent hearing, a judge told Prince Harry's legal team that his case against Associated Newspapers, yes, that shady tabloid empire, is not a public inquiry, and that they need to bring real examples of unlawful information gathering. Real examples? Are we pretending we don't know how these newspapers operated for decades? Here's the thing. Prince Harry isn't making wild, baseless claims. He's standing alongside a coalition of respected individuals, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, Sir Elton John, David Furnish, Liz Hurley, Sadie Frost, Sir Simon Hughes, all victims in one way or another of the same unethical, sometimes illegal practices by the same media powerhouse. You really think this many high-profile individuals just woke up one morning and decided to pick a fight with the Daily Mail? No. This isn't drama. This is defense. This is about reclaiming dignity and demanding justice. But the judge asked for real examples as if the media's decades-long pattern of behavior doesn't already scream exploitation and manipulation. As if the trauma Harry and Meghan have endured at the hands of the press wasn't real enough. As if we're supposed to forget the tabloid intrusion into Princess Diana's life and death, and now act like it's unreasonable for her son to want to hold those same forces to account. Let's not miss the forest for the trees here. The judge cautioned Harry's lawyer about looking at other articles by the same journalists. But why not? If there's a pattern, shouldn't it be exposed? When you're investigating a potential criminal network, you follow the threads. You pull on that web, just like David Sherborne, Harry's lawyer said, because sometimes pulling one thread reveals the whole rotten system underneath. But no, Associated Newspapers wants to paint this as a fishing expedition. That's rich. The very people who spent years digging through private lives, intercepting voicemails, hiring shady private investigators, and building empires on the backs of personal pain. Now they want to cry foul because someone dares to look into their methods? Please. Anthony White KC, representing Associated, insists this isn't like the other phone hacking cases. Why? Because they don't have a bedrock of criminal convictions yet. That's not a defense. That's just an admission they haven't been held accountable yet. But that's exactly what Harry's fight is all about. Changing that. This case isn't about chasing ghosts. It's about standing up to a system that thrives on secrecy, on lies, and on silencing its victims through intimidation, smear campaigns, and manipulation. It's about people like Meghan Markle being dragged through the mud for sport because a powerful black woman who dares to speak her truth and stand next to a prince upsets the toxic status quo. And let's talk about that, because make no mistake, the obsession with discrediting Harry is also about discrediting Meghan. They want to erase her voice, her presence, and her strength from the story. But here's the truth. They can't. Harry and Meghan walked away from the royal family not to escape responsibility, but to escape abuse. And now, Harry is doing the very thing his mother never had the chance to do, fight back in court, on his own terms, with evidence, with allies, and with determination. Do you really think this is about 14 articles from 2001 to 2014? It's about everything those articles represent, how they were sourced, how they were twisted, and how they were weaponized. It's about an industry that feeds on invasions of privacy and then gaslights the victims into silence. The judge may not want a public inquiry, but that's exactly what we need. Because for too long the British media has played judge, jury, and executioner, destroying lives from behind a wall of so-called journalistic integrity. And when someone finally pulls back the curtain, they call it fishing. Well, guess what? You don't get to exploit people and then cry foul when the spotlight turns on you. Prince Harry isn't just fighting for himself. He's fighting for his wife, for his mother, for every person who's ever had their life ripped apart by a headline born from betrayal. And if justice demands more than accusations, if it needs real examples, then let's bring them. Let's bring them all. Because the truth is on his side. And no matter how hard the press tries to twist it, Harry isn't backing down, and neither should we. So if you believe in truth, if you believe in justice, and if you believe in supporting people who refuse to be silenced, then stand with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because this battle isn't just about tabloids, it's about who we are as a society. Are we going to let billion-dollar media empires get away with abusing power forever, or are we finally going to say enough? Judge asks Prince Harry for real examples as Duke prepares for major legal battle. The judge further clarified what constitutes unlawful information gathering. A judge has warned Prince Harry that his legal battle against Associated Newspapers Limited is not a public inquiry during a recent court hearing. The judge emphasized the need for real examples of unlawful information gathering rather than broad allegations. What is the control mechanism to ensure this does not become a wide-ranging public inquiry? The judge asked. What the court is looking for is real examples. The judge further clarified what constitutes unlawful information gathering versus a breach of confidence. He stated that if there was a cast-iron demonstration by a journalist that information was obtained from a straightforward up-and-down source, it may represent a breach of confidence, but not necessarily unlawful information gathering. He warned the Duke's lawyer that examining other articles by that journalist would not help him one bit. The judge cautioned that the claimants were coming perilously close to suggesting defense evidence was irrelevant. David Sherborne, representing the claimants, argued that further evidence was needed from Associated Newspapers. The claimants' cases allege a web of illegal acts. Pulling on threads of that web may reveal more of the pattern, he said. This suggests the legal team is seeking to establish a broader pattern of behavior, rather than focusing solely on individual incidents. Anthony White KC, for Associated, accused the claimants of hunting for an ever-expanding case that there were other victims of unlawful information gathering. He said they were trying to fish for something that might assist their claim. White warned that the case must not be treated as just another example of phone hacking litigation brought against other publishers. He argued these claims differ fundamentally from those against Mirror Group newspapers and News Group newspapers and must be independently proved. Prince Harry is one of several high-profile individuals bringing legal action against Associated Newspapers Limited. The group includes Baroness Doreen Lawrence, Sir Elton John, his husband David Furnish, actresses Sadie Frost and Liz Hurley, and former Liberal Democrat politician Sir Simon Hughes. The Duke's specific claim concerns 14 articles published between 2001 and 2014. Associated Newspapers firmly denies all the allegations made against it. The publisher has described the claims as lurid and simply preposterous. White highlighted that, unlike previous cases against other publishers, there is no bedrock of criminal convictions supporting these claims. There is no similar bedrock here. Associated denies the claims, he told the court. The case continues with both sides presenting strongly contrasting positions on the allegations. I say enough, and if you're with me, if you're with us, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and show your support by clicking that super thanks button. Your contributions help keep this community strong and independent, and every single one of you makes a difference. Let's raise our voices louder than their lies. Let's support truth. Let's support justice. And above all, let's support Harry and Meghan. This is Royal Sussex Squad, and we don't back down.